Hello there, Matthew Miller, and yes, on this blog, I'm going to be talking about the smoke that's came over from the Australia bushfire. And yes, Australia's going through a hard time, and it's just looking so grim. And yes, the reason why I did that because we actually the sky's been changing over in New Zealand as well. It's sort of been getting that orangey haze, and yeah. You can see smoke from Australia bushfire turns the sky orange above New Zealand. Yet, even the Met Service actually has the image of how all that haze is getting all the way to New Zealand. You can see that. That's from the Met Service. Yeah, and that's from 11 a.m. Did he get the date wrong? It says 5th. It's supposed to be January. What the hell? It's supposed to be January. It's not February yet. Come on. Is that actually a real? Did they made a mistake or it's just me? Oh, I don't know what. It says 1st to 2nd, 20. What the hell? It's supposed to be 1, not 2. Because it's January, not February. So, well, let's get to all those images there, yeah. And that's from the Met Service. And say January 5th. That's the first. Yeah, because January is the first month of the year, not the second. So, yeah, and let's get back to. I'm going to go through. Yeah, the smoke. See, look at that. That's on the Weather Watch New Zealand. There it is there. And you can see the yellow or the orange haze. You can see why it's blowing all the way there. It's all that wind there. And boy, smoke in the main plume. And yeah, where I'm living, I happen to be in the middle of it. Well, let's go through down there at the article there. Yeah, look at that. Boy, yeah, praying for Australia. Well, if you want, just give some donation to the firefighters, but the problem with that, there could be some scams around, so you gotta always be wary of that, who you're giving your money to. So, yeah, it feels like that the sun's about to set and dark orangey tinted. So, can't change no as well. It always changes, and sometimes it does have influence on the climate. And yeah, you can see how Auckland is now. Look at that. It turns, and that's what it was there. Then it turns slightly a bit sort of dentish here. Then it's more orange. Yeah, orange. Oh boy. And yeah. Oh boy. And people are just taking photos. And there's a photo that happened to be on a plane. And yes, and that's over in the Auckland Harbour there, and you can see there was 1 p.m. before, and there, look at that. I can go to the Twitter feed, look at that. Wow. Yeah. And 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. Oh boy, yeah, look at that. And there's a plane taking off into the smoke. And there's the Met Service, and there's a bird. You can see, look at that. It says 5th 2, 20. What the hell? I spotted the mistake. And I didn't bother correcting it. Well, yeah, look at that. It's just... what? Boy, now it goes to... I'm going to go to unknown stuff. Look at that. I know I'm not going to play the video. That's over in Auckland there. And boy, oh boy. And yet that's over, yeah, the tennis. And it's all like, that's, yeah, cause it's like the SB tennis, yeah, tournament or something. Yeah, and there happened to be an orange hay that tend to come over while they're all playing tennis. Yeah, and there happened to be a player that's just all spectator just watching them play tennis. Well, can't really get too much into sports yet. Better go to what I gotta say. Oh boy. And yeah, look at that. You can see all that haze from the smoke from the Australia bushfire. Yeah. And boy, and look at that, it's turned the sun weird. And boy, that's all New South Wales. You can see the sky is absolutely weird. And that's where all the bushfires, it's all weird. Look at that. And yeah, and that's over in South Island, and yeah, it turned like this into like a brownish color or something. The snow glacier. And finally, Al Gore posted all the Al Gore and other climbers along his told say there weren't going to be any snow, but there's still snow. Well, I don't know why I'm having laughs and that though. And yeah, and there's a headline: Australian bushfire Auckland resident call 111 over orange. Oh, he like when there was orange haze, so forgot and decided to call 111. And that's actually the News Channel emergency number. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And boy, and yes, of course, it was spread out north as well. Of course, that's where the smoke's going, and you'll see that soon. And boy, our sky is seen for it's all orange. It's starting to get more orange because of the bushfire. Yeah. And yeah, all over north as well. Yeah, the sky's all got more orange. And that's over up north, just north of Auckland. And yeah, and that's Ron Lang's speech. And boy, whoa, good grief. Yeah. Wow, people. It's just so grand what's happening in Australia. And boy, I did have read an article about what's happening and why. And yeah, now, yeah, you know what the media's going to do? They're going to blame it to all about contracts to scare you people. So don't buy in what the media is saying. And yes, there is has been on sky. I actually seen it, and I actually took a picture of myself, and which I might show it at the end of my blog as well. So let's just get move on and yeah, like I probably mentioned that before. South Island Glacier turns brown after Australian bushfire smoke, and yeah, and it's literally a thing. Wow, wow. Oh boy, yeah. Well, I think that's all I've got to say for now. And also, there's a video I highly recommend you should watch as well. This one's from the Upper Branch Project, and he does talk about what's happening over in Australia. I highly recommend that you do watch that as well. And yeah, and he's also shows the Safe donation site if you want to help those in need, like the firefighters, the farmers, and that. And yeah, I highlight it there, and so you know what I mean. Because yeah, safe donation sites, because you know that, because these owners just probably say, oh, help those firefighters and that, but there could be some scammers and that though, and if you're going to donate, you want to be sure the money goes to them. And and I hope you did enjoy this blog. Yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this blog and seen the orange sky. And I guess that's all I gotta say for now. It's Matthew Miller, sign off, over and out.